Morning, my dear students. How are you? Yes, you are fine. I'm also fine. So, today is Tuesday. Our English class is going to start. Before going to start, let me ask you some questions from the previous class. You read the lesson, you wrote the answers and sent me. It's fine. So, we know homeopath was sitting in his room with many lovely thoughts. What were those thoughts? Yes, he was thinking about his marriage, and he took a decision to marry a particular lady who should be fat. Reasons also we discussed. In a funny way, he is explaining. Okay, so we know while he was thinking all these, he heard a sound, but he did not mind. So, what happened next? Let's find out. Okay, so with such thoughts in my mind, I resumed my seat in the chair in front of the table. There were no more sounds from above. Suddenly, there came a dull thud, as if a rubber tube had fallen to the ground. Surely, nothing to worry about. Even so, I thought I would turn around and take a look. No sooner had I turned than a fat snake wriggled over the back of the chair and landed on my shoulder. The snake's landing on me and my turning were simultaneous. Then twist in the story. What is the twist in the story? With such thoughts in my mind, I resumed. Resumed means what? After stopping, when we continue something, we cannot say it is continuing. It is resuming. If there is no stop, we can say it is continuing. So, his thoughts were disturbed by that sound. Okay, so he resumed. My seat in the chair in front of the table. Still he is sitting there. And there were no more sounds from now above. No, there is no sound. So he is fine. Okay. Suddenly there came a dull thud, as if a rubber tube had fallen to the ground. Rubber tube. When the rubber tube fall on the ground, there will be a sound, no? And that sound is what here said, a dull thud sound. Such substances, when such substances fall on the ground, that will make a particular sound, and that sound is called the thud sound. Okay, so you hear a thud sound. Then, surely nothing to worry about. If a sound of a rubber tube means what? It will not make us fear. No, we will not be worried about that. So what? So he thought nothing is there, no problem. Then, even so, I thought, he thought there was no danger from that sound. Means that is not the sound of what an animal or something like that. So what? He was not ready to look back. But even so, I thought I would turn around and take a look. Oh, okay, it is not a problem. But still, he thought, just I can turn back and see whether something is there or not. So he was thinking like that. At that time, what happened? No sooner had I turned than a fat snake wriggled over the back of the chair. No sooner than, usage of no sooner than. When two actions happen together, we can use what? This no sooner. By using this no sooner than, we can combine these two sentences and we will get an idea that two activities done or happened at a time. Okay, so Even so, I thought I would turn around and take a look. No sooner had I turned, he was going to turn. At the same time, what happened? A fat snake. What was that? Yes, a fat snake. Wriggled. Wriggle. Wriggle means what? Move in a twisting way. Means like a what? Snake moving. That is called wriggled. That wriggled over the back of the chair. He was sitting on a chair. It fell backside, and from there it wriggled. It came up and landed on my. What did it land? That the snake landed on the shoulder of whom? Yes, God Father. Just you think about such a moment in your life. A snake falling and coming and landing on our shoulder means no, we can imagine that, but here it is not imagining, it is real. What can he do? The snakes landing on me and my turning were simultaneous. Simultaneous means what? Happening or done at the same time. So that falling of the snake and his turning both were at that time. Now our author is there in that, our homeopath is there, and very close to him, who is there? That snake is there. I didn't jump. Sometimes when you see a snake on your shoulder, you may jump. But here, our author, our homeopath, we can say, author himself is the homeopath, we can say. So he did not jump. Then I didn't tremble. He was not shivering. Then I didn't cry out. Did he cry? No, he didn't cry. Did he tremble? No. Did he jump? No, he didn't do any of this. Which means you may think he is very bored. But what am I actually? There was no time to do any such a thing. What was the problem? There was no time. There was no time for such a moments or such feelings. The snake slithered along my shoulder and coiled around my left arm above the elbow. Then what? The snake slithered. Slither means that is also movement of that part snake. So it slithered means it moved along my shoulder and coiled around my left arm. Yes, here left arm above the elbow. Above the elbow, it coiled. Coiling means tie. That snake coiled on his which hand? Yes, left hand. Then the hood was spread out and its head was hardly 3 or 4 inches from my face. Then what? The hood of the snake. In the first lesson we discussed the hood. So the hood was spread out. Those hoods, that snakes will do like this, stand like this. So that is what is that snake with all its power and energy stood in such a strong way by spreading out his hood, and his head was hardly means negative, no, but 3 or 4 inches from my face. It was very close, not 4 or 3. That's also will not be there. So that snake and or homeopath is what they are going to meet. Very close. They are standing very close. Just to think about such a moment. It would not be correct to say merely that I sat there holding my breath. I was turned to stone, but my mind was very active. The door opened into darkness. The room was filled with darkness. In the light of the lamp, I sat there like a stone image in the flesh. Then what? It would not be correct to say merely that I sat there holding my breath. You cannot say what just he should sat there by holding his breath. What has actually happened there? I was turned to stone. Our homeopath was turned to what? Stone. Stone means it did move. A stone will not move now. So now homeopath is standing there like a stone. You know, the snake will attack. When will it attack? When something is moving. That snake will think what it may be. It's prey. It's food. Or sometimes if something is moving, that will think what that is a what enemy. They may come and attack like that. Who will think? Yes, snake will think and it will attack because it has only one strategy, that is what, attacking. So here, that homeopath was sitting there like a statue or a stone, we can say, stone. Then, but my mind was very active. But what is that? His mind was very active. Mind is working. We will not see that. Snake will not see that. Then the door opened into darkness. Then what? He is looking backside of that snake. What is there? That opened door is there. Then the room was filled with darkness. You know, there is no electricity. Bulb is not there. Nothing is there. So what? That room is filled with the darkness. And in the light of the lamp, I sat there like a stone image in the flesh. In that darkness, who sat there? Our homeopath sat there like a stone image. What? In the flesh. His body is working. So flesh, we can say. But he cannot move. He is sitting there like a stone. Okay, which means that snake will not attack whom? Homeopath. Why? Because he will think it is something like a stone, so it will not attack. Okay, then I felt then the great presence of the creator of this world and this universe. At that time I felt then the great presence of whom? Creator. Creator means God of this world and this universe. Now he is thinking about his God and this world, everything. God was there. Suppose I said something and he did not like it. I tried in my imagination to write in bright letters outside my little heart the words, oh God. Suppose I said something and he did not like it. Why did it happen like this? Nobody is saying, I did something, but who did not like it? What? God does not like it. That's why he sent whom? This snake, like that he thought. So I tried in my imagination to write in bright letters in outside my little heart the words, oh God. He is thinking about writing, oh God. Please save me, like that. So now we have is saying something that he forgot God. That's why it happened like that. Then there was some pain in my left arm. That snake coiled around his hand. Now there is a pain. It was as if a thick leaden rod, a rod made of molten fire, was slowly put but powerfully crushing my arm. It was as if a thick leaden, very thick one, a thick leaden rod. Rod means what? Rod means a stick, means a leaden rod, red stick, like a red stick. What is? It is very. No, a rod made of molten fire. Molten means molten fire means what? This lead putting and boiling with 1,000 or 1,000 degrees Celsius in such a way, making such a lead means what? It will be very strong, no? So such a way it is very strong. was slowly but powerfully crushing my arm. It is what when we take one iron rod and tight keeping on our hand means what we will get pain. So same like that he was getting pain for the arm was beginning to be drained of all strength. The arm was beginning to be drained. Drained means loose, lost, drained loose. So his power was going to lose because such a strong wave who caught the snake coiled on his arm. What could I do? What could he do? Can he do anything? No. If he moves, if he tries to do anything, you know what will happen? No doubt that snake will bite him. Okay? So such a miserable condition is there for our homeopath. At my slightest moment, the snake would strike me. He's an homeopath. So he is an homeopath, so what he knows the movements of what snake. So if he moves if he moves just from his that position, no doubt what will happen, the snake will bite him. So death lurked 4 inches away. Death lurked. Lurk means wait somewhere. So here death is waiting somewhere here. Why? Because what? Only 4 inches away. Why? Because snake is a venomous snake. If it bites, no doubt he will die. So his death is near him. Suppose it struck. What was the medicine I have to take? I told you, even though he was in such a condition, his mind was very active. If the snake bites, which medicine can I take? There was no medicine in the room. He was worrying about what now? In a funny way, saying, there is no medicine in my room. Because what? I was but a poor, foolish, and a stupid doctor. Then he is criticizing himself. I am only a poor and foolish, stupid doctor because what? There is no medicine for snake bite here. So if it bites, what will happen? Which medicine can I take? Nothing is there. Then I forgot my danger and smiled feebly at myself. I forgot my danger and smiled. He found what? He found humor even in such a situation. That is what? Yes. Whatever it may be. Now there is a snake just before 4 inches away. And what will happen the very next? If he moves, what will happen? The snake will bite him. And then what will happen? Then sometimes the snake may leave that place. Then he has to take medicine. Is there any medicine? There is no medicine. So what? Why? This is what? My last moment. So he laughed. Just you think, such a time also our homeopathies finding humor in that. It seemed as if God appreciated that. Then what? It seemed what? As if God appreciated that. He laughed by thinking is what? His helplessness. Because if the snake bites, he will not be able to take any medicine because nothing is there. So this is my last moment, and he laughed. And by criticizing himself, whatever doctor you are, you don't have any medicine, nothing is there. By saying he was laughing. That made whom happy. That God. That's like he's saying, God appreciate that. The snake turned its head. Only because of that laugh, what happened now? That snake turned its head. Here, homeopath telling what now? He says that that snake is controlled by whom? God. So now it turned. Who turned? That snake turned its eyes from him. It looked into the mirror and saw its reflection. Very close to him. What was when that snake took his eyes from our neighbor. He looked at the mirror. I did not claim that it was the first snake that had ever looked into a mirror. Then also I say, but no, I did not claim. No, I am not claiming. But it was the first snake that it was the first snake that had ever looked into a mirror. I am not saying that, but this is the first snake looking at the mirror. I don't know. Sometimes some other snakes may be there. I don't know. Okay, that may be. But it was certain that the snake was looking into the mirror. But one thing was sure. But the snake was looking at the mirror. Was it admiring his own beauty? Now he is standing there like a statue, but his mind is working. Is it admiring his beauty? Was it trying to make an important decision by growing a mustache, or using eyeshadow, or a mascara, or wearing a vermilion spot on his forehead? Then he is thinking, but no, was it trying to make an important decision? He made a decision. No, he never made a decision the same way. Who is also snake also thinking, why is he thinking like that? But to grow mustache, snake thinking about mustache. But then, or using eyeshadow, and also what? Mascara. Mascara means what? A substance that is put on eyelashes to make them look dark and thick. Girls are using mascara. So, or wearing a vermilion spot. Vermilion spot means after marriage. You know, Hindu women they wear what? They keep a vermilion as red colored spot on their forehead. Is he thinking about such a vermilion spot in his forehead? I don't know. What it may be? Who that snake is looking at the mirror. Okay. So, in such a thought, I was thinking. Then, I did not know anything for certain. What sex was the snake? Was it male or female? I will never know. Now he is thinking what? No, whether the snake is male or female? No, nothing. I don't know. I will never know. Can you understand that? No. For the snake unwound itself from my arm and slowly slithered into my lap. Why? Because at that time the snake unwound itself. Unwound means what? To take off something that is coiled around. It was coiling, so it was coiled on the left hand of the homeopath, but it unwound. It uncoiled that and it moved slowly into homeopath's lap. Then from there it crept into the table and moved towards the mirror. Then what? From there it crept onto the table and moved towards the mirror. It moved towards that table and then going towards that mirror. Perhaps it wanted to enjoy its reflection at close quarters. Now who is our homeopath is thinking is the snake is going to get a close look on the mirror. Okay, because it is darkness. In such a way, who is that homeopath thinking that snake is going to take a look on the mirror. Okay, which means what it may be. The danger is there is no danger now because without fighting homeopath, that snake moved away, moved towards what? Toward that mirror. So he will be happy. For the snake moves away from here. He can run away, no problem. He will not catch it, will not bite him. So now he is our homeopath is in a good condition, in a safe condition. Okay, so that's it today. So go through this lesson very carefully and also some new words are discussed. While discussing it, I explain the meaning. So once again you read and find out the tough words and underline it and find out from the dictionary. And if you do not get, just you can type. Okay, so I'm going to write up. After reading the lesson, you can write down the sad question answers and send me. Okay, thank you.